Hey, welcome to Pure Mind Think. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the ideas, predictions, and possibilities shaping our world. And today, we're stepping into something big, really big. The title says it all. Prophecy 2025. What's coming our way this year? Are we on the edge of chaos, revival, or something totally unexpected? Stick around, because we're unpacking some wild insights from a prophetic voice that's been making waves. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's on the horizon. Hit that like button if you're ready to explore, subscribe if you're new here, and let's get into it. So here's the deal. We're in March 2025. Yep, it's already here. And the world feels like it's spinning faster than ever. Economic uncertainty, global tensions, protests, breakthroughs, it's all happening at once. But what if I told you someone saw pieces of this puzzle years ago? Today, we're diving into a conversation from Joni Lamb's Table Talk show featuring prophetic voice Joseph Z. Now, full disclosure, this isn't about blindly accepting predictions. It's about exploring what's been said, what's come true, and what might be next, all through a lens of curiosity and critical thinking. That's the Pure Mind Think way. Storm Babylon? A shot heard around the world? Economic revival? This guy's not holding back. But before we unpack his 2025 vision, let's rewind. Joseph Z claims he nailed some major calls for 2024, like an assassination attempt on Trump, Biden stepping down, and the election shaking out the way it did. Did he really? Let's break it down and see if this sets the stage for what's coming. All right, let's hit the highlights. Back in early 2024, Joseph Z sat at Joni's table and dropped some bold predictions. First up, an assassination attempt on former President Trump. He says he saw a shot heard around the world. And get this, 8 hours before Trump was grazed by a bullet in June, Joseph went live and called it. Coincidence? Maybe. But it's eerie how specific that timing was. He tied it to a Paul Revere anointing, meaning a wake-up call for the nation. And looking back, that moment did spark a wildfire of reactions. Some say it even shifted the election. Next, he predicted Biden stepping down. He called him the Manchurian candidate, a puppet whose usefulness would run out. And sure enough, mid-2024, Biden bowed out, paving the way for a new contender. Joseph saw it as a do-over year, a redo of unfinished business from 2020. Then there's the election itself. He said the church would get him in, meaning Trump, and despite legal battles and chaos, that's exactly what happened. Now, I'm not here to pick sides, I'm just laying out the track record. 3 big calls, 3 hits. That's got my attention. What about you? Drop a comment. Did these surprise you too? So, with 2024 in the rear view, Joseph's credibility is on the table. But here's where it gets juicy. What's he seeing for 2025? Buckle up, because this is where the rubber meets the road. Let's paint the picture. Joseph breaks 2025 into quadrants, January to July, then beyond. He starts with a warning. We've got to get through the first half without someone letting the nuke off the leash. Yeah, that's nuclear war talk. Heavy stuff. But he's not doom and gloom about it. He says if the church, meaning people of faith, keeps praying and showing up, we can deflect it. Intervention after intervention, he calls it. Think of it like divine dodgeball, knocking threats out of the sky. By July, he sees a turning point, a tent peg in the ground. If we hold steady, victory kicks in, and we start recalibrating. Economic revival, new inventions, oil booming. He's betting on a supernatural turnaround. But it's not all smooth sailing. He warns of battles over media platforms, crazy weather, and something wild. A paranormal surge tied to AI and a torn veil of reality. Think UFOs, eerie tech, and spiritual weirdness popping off. Freaky, right? We'll circle back to that because it's too good to skip. Now here's the kicker. This all hinges on action. Joseph pulls from 2 Kings 13. Elisha telling King Joash to strike the ground with arrows. Joash wimped out at 3 strikes, and Elisha was like, "Dude, you should have gone harder." Joseph says that's us in 2025. We've got to lean in, not back off, to see the full win. deterring war, reviving the economy, you name it. It's less about waiting for miracles and more about fighting for them. What do you think? Can we pull that off? Let me know below. Okay, here's where it gets personal for Joseph. He's got this vision from 2020. 2 angels, one red, white, and blue over America, another white and blue over Israel. He says America's future ties directly to how we stand with Israel. Bless them, and we're blessed. Curse them, and we're toast. It's rooted in Ezekiel 16 and a promise he believes God made. In 2025, he sees this playing out big time. If we keep that alliance strong, we'll see favor. Maybe even a legacy for our kids' stretching to 2040. Now, this isn't just geopolitics, it's spiritual for him. He's not saying America's perfect, but he's convinced this relationship is a lifeline. Back in 2015, he asked God, "Is America done?" The answer? No, one more round. He thinks 2025 is part of that round, a chance to right the ship. But it's up to us to keep pushing. Pretty bold, huh? So, let's zoom out. Joseph's 2025 isn't just a year, it's a launch pad. He sees 2026 as pick up sticks, rebuilding time after the chaos. By 2027, he's calling for revival. And if we play our cards right, he's got a 16-year arc to 2040, where the young lions, next-gen leaders, rise up. But here's the twist. He says Jesus could return anytime, throwing all this out the window. "I'm gonna surprise them all," he heard God say. So is this a roadmap or a maybe? That's for us to wrestle with. And that paranormal bit? He's talking AI animating stuff, like Revelation's image of the beast and UFO craziness ramping up. He even ties it to places like CERN messing with dimensions. It's sci-fi meets faith, and he says we've been conditioned for it by movies like Independence Day. Wild theory, but it's got me thinking, are we ready for that kind of curveball? All right, let's bring it home. Joseph's not just predicting, he's prescribing. Step 1, read the Bible till it talks back. Step 2, pray like it matters. Step 3, find your tribe, the right people who get you. He says if we're with the wrong crowd, we're stuck. With the right one, we're unstoppable. And step 4, put on your spiritual armor, faith, courage, the works. It's about leaning in, not shrinking back. Whether you're a believer or just curious, this is practical stuff. Silence the noise, social media, negativity, whatever, and focus on what's real. Joseph's big on that. And if you're wondering about the Jesus part, he keeps it simple. Jesus, save me. No fluff, just a lifeline. I love how he says God's not mad at you. He's chasing you down with love. That hit me hard. So, where does this leave us? 2025 could be a battleground, nukes, AI, paranormal vibes, or a breakthrough. Revival, freedom tech, a future for our kids. Joseph's betting on the latter if we step up. Me? I'm fascinated. I don't have all the answers, but I'm digging into the possibilities. That's what Pure Mind Think is about, exploring the edges of what's real and what's next. What do you think? Will 2025 be chaos or comeback? Are we striking the ground hard enough? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. If this sparked something in you, smash that like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more deep dives. Next week, we're tackling. Until then, keep your mind pure and your eyes open. See you in the future.